the 3 Reaper attack in game 1. So we'll see if he's going to take any of that information and use it in a positive way here. But let's go ahead and introduce the Terran player, the top portion of Catalina. It is the purple Terran for Team All Inspiration, Canary. And on the bottom right side of Catalina, spawning for Team Composite, the orange Zerg player, Nefarious. Now, I gotta say, I think Nefarious actually won his games a little bit more convincingly. So it's like I don't know how to say this. I kind of want to give him the edge in this game just based on how convincingly he won. But it's really hard to give another player the edge over Canary. I don't know. I think we're going to see a pretty good series here to find out who makes it out.
Yeah, and that's no team bias here. I mean, that's more the fact that Canary has only been training against Zerg, so he's had that advantage going in. Whereas all of the Zergs in this group have had to mix their time between against Zerg and Terran, so that's just a natural advantage for Canary's practice here. So he's actually gone for, yet again, another 11 racks, so this seems to be the theme of today for Canary.
Yeah, and he is getting that gas right on 11 as well, so possibly not forgetting it this time.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him afterwards if he forgot it. I don't think he would have forgotten it.
No, I mean, it seems like kind of a silly mistake, but the thing is, like, when you're playing a game, if you're just kind of thinking, like, okay, what am I going to do next, towards the mid-game? Oh, crap, I forgot my gas already. Like, it kind of happened, so perhaps it could have happened.
Oh, it definitely didn't happen for Nefarious here. He's arguably expected this from Canary, seeing him go 11 racks twice in a row now, and he went for the gas interpool. I believe it was 14-13, so he has the option of being very aggressive here, else he's just going to match Canary's aggression, and then both players are just going to smoothly transition into the mid-game. I say smoothly, very loosely there.
Yeah, I mean, it could be one of the most choppiest transitions into the mid-game we've seen yet today, which is saying something, because we've seen some scrappy games already.
Yeah, so Nefarious, he hasn't seen anything of note yet with his Overlord, and Canary has also scouted incorrectly with his SCV. So both players are in the dark about both players' early aggression. So I believe Canary is going to get the first scout off here with his Reaper now moving out.
Yeah, and obviously he is following up with a second Reaper as well. And he's going to be able to get a timing here, and he's going to see the spawning pool wiggling at 3 minutes and 50 seconds and think, whoa, that's it's pretty fast speed you're getting there. Also seeing by clicking on the gas geyser here that there are exactly 112 mines of gas have been taken out of that geyser here, and the early queen as well. So Nefarious is in a pretty good position to defend this type of Reaper play right now.
Yeah, and I think Canary knows it. So he is going to be still going up to the 3 Reapers, but he's going to be using them defensively here. The second Reaper is just idling at home. The first Reaper is coming straight home. Canary is taking no chances here. He has evidently identified the fast speed from Nefarious, and he is going to be playing a lot more defensively here. I imagine we'll see the quick reactor come down on this barracks here for the Hellions, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a delayed third command center.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing as well. Canary did make some adjustments here in getting the factory before the reactor, and he's going to have some Hellions out in time to defend any sort of possible Baneling attack even that might come at him. But obviously that's not what we're seeing here.
Well, we are seeing a lot of Zerglings. I mean, this is 16 Lings already out on the 8 Lings already out on the field. Another 10 also being made here. So Nefarious is definitely going to get a lift off on this natural. It might be cancelled. There's 10 seconds left on this build timer. This is going to be real close.
Yeah, it is going to be close here. We're going to take a look, and they're going to try to target down the SCV. He does get the command center finish. Hero SCV there. 3 Reapers actually going to be pretty good at shooing us away. Got to be careful, though, not to get surrounded because there's no Hellions on the map yet. 2 Hellions going down to the Speedling attack, and this is going to be pretty dangerous here. The Hellions are coming out shortly, though. And the 2 of them are going to do a pretty good job defending this supply depot wall, especially when 4 are on their way. It's going to be a lot simpler. But Nefarious taking this time to drone up behind this attack, and he's setting himself up pretty nicely for the mid-game here.
Nefarious has done a very good job here of cancelling this, delaying this expansion from Canary, but There's a lot of speedlings here that have all of a sudden become largely useless, so maybe a few of these could have been a bit more invested into the drones, but that being said, Nefarious still does have the 10 drone advantage here. He's opting for the third hatchery as well because he knows he has the map control, but he's actually opting to resign that map control, and he brought his speedlings home, I guess maybe expecting a drop of some kind. I don't know why else they'd come home this fast.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to lose them by accident here, getting caught out in the open by some Hellions and Reapers. I like how he did leave a few back in the back of the natural of Canary, though, so he can spot the timing of when the command center decides it can go back down. Canary getting a quicker starport this time as well, so adjustments out of him, at least for this matchup.
Yeah, I wonder what we'll be seeing. I don't think we'll see a Tech Lab unit come out of the starport. I would guess it's going to be a Viking to start shooting away some Overlords, but it might well be the Medevac as well to apply some counter pressure.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Viking as well to start off with. Well, there you go.
That's
Never mind.
why, yeah, this is why we are not the Diamond Terran player like Canary.
Well, he's going to have to kill that Overlord pretty quickly if he doesn't want that armory to be spotted, but it is going to be spotted. So Nefarious knows to expect some Hellbats here shortly. He's actually going right into a Spire.
I wonder if he spotted the armory. I think he would have done. He definitely saw it with the Overlord, but I'm not sure if he clicked on it, so he might not have acknowledged it yet. And
Okay.
he's going to be only defending this future Hellbat push with Zerglings. I mean, there is a Baneling nest on the way, but these Banelings are going to be very... I don't know, it's going to be real close to get these Banelings out on time if Canary moves out soon, and I think he will, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see why he opted for the Medevacs here, actually. He's going to have them to help defend the Hellbats. This is a cute move here. Picking up the Marines to go ahead and catch that Overlord who almost got away. And then he even picks him back up to drop him over again. Very nicely done from Canary. Third base is finished. 3 racks, 1 factory, 1 starport. Everything pretty standard so far. And we see the the 4th and 5th racks to follow this up. Here come the Hellbats. There are so many Hellbats here, or Hellions, soon to be Hellbats. And we need Nefarious to get those Banelings finished nice and quickly here for this defense.
He's actually just opting straight for the counter-attack. He already has Zerglings on the other side of the map, and I wonder if Canary is going to go home or just lift his natural. I think he's probably going to have to lift his natural at this stage and just attack with the Hellions, but he's not doing anything at the front with his Hellbats, so this is buying time for the Banelings. They could even just run straight forward, and they are going to.
Oh my god, so many Banelings going off on Hellbats there. That was an insanely efficient attack here coming out of Nefarious. Sorry if I blew out your eardrums there, guys. That was just really, really well done from Nefarious. And now this attack is like nothing for Nefarious to deal with. And he still has Zerglings in a natural here, taking out gas geysers and supply depots. This is putting Canary in a rough spot here.
Yeah, and with the Banelings coming in as well, there's nothing really that Canary can do to stop this. The Mucilace have just started to hatch, and there's absolutely nothing. There's 1 Marine, okay. And he's left behind. Screw that guy. No one liked him anymore.
And here comes the follow-up counterattack here out of Nefarious. There's pretty much nothing here for Canary to defend with. I mean, he's got a couple Hellbats and a couple Marines, but just look at the amount of Zerglings and Banelings here. Even the Mutas here are going to be a nice little versatile unit in this attack here. Here they come, going to try to get a surround off. That's probably not the most efficient engagement that Nefarious could have taken, but it doesn't matter. There's the GG from Canary, and Nefarious looking really strong here so far.
That was a pretty clean game coming out of Nefarious there. He's clearly done his homework on Canary and has prepared a suitable counter build for that particular style that Canary likes. So we're going to have to see one of the other 11 million ways that Canary likes to play in map 2 and 3.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see what he's going to pull out here because he's actually on the ropes now. And like I said, these players don't want to get knocked out here. They just want to win this series and get on out of this tournament. Because StarCraft is a fun game to play, but when you're playing in a big tournament, it's less fun and more business. And you just want to take care of business and get out.
Yeah, so Deadwing is going to be map number 2. We are just waiting on the players to get in here. There's the first one, and the second one will be following up shortly. So, you're Canary and you're down 1-0 and you're on Deadwing. I think you know what he's going to do, but what do you think he's going to do?
Are you thinking about some sort of Reaper rush or a bunker rush? Because I'm going with one of the two.
Yep, I was thinking the 11-11 Marine variety. I guess we'll
Yeah.
have to see what Canary wants to do. I mean, to be honest, the last time I saw him on this map, he went macro, and it was against P. Sosa, who followed his group like 2 days ago, and Canary won.
Yeah,
It
I
can
mean
be
that's the
anything.
thing. It really could be. It's almost futile to even guess, but we're. It looks like the players are ready, so we're just waiting
Waiting on
on
me.
TB Ham to get that F out, so we can go ahead and continue on with this series.
Alright, Deadwing, the second map of this series, might be the final map for Nefarious. Might be a very quick 4-0 for him.
It could be. I want to give Canary a little bit more credit, though, and think that he's going to come back and take this game with something that he's cooked up here. Uh, I can't see him wanting to lose any series here. So I think he's going to, not that he wouldn't bring his A game beforehand, but this is going to be like his I need to win this game type build.
And he has to. He
Yeah,
has
of
no
course.
choice.
All right. So we're waiting for Deadwing to load up here. Deadwing's an interesting map for TVZ. Mutas can be pretty effective given the amount of dead space and just sort of fly area around the back of the bases here. So I think we may see some mutas coming out of the Zerg player that we are looking at in the top left corner of Deadwing. Orange color, team composite team. It is Nefarious. And in the bottom right corner of Deadwing, spawning for Team All Inspiration, it is the purple Terran player, currently down 0-1. It is Canary. And the SCVs have stayed home, so I'm slightly disappointed.
I mean, he still has time if he wants to 11-11. You normally send out a couple around now. And they're not going anywhere. Well, dream is over.
Canary, not going for what made him famous, and this is why he is losing against Nefarious, I think.
He hasn't lost yet. I mean, it's not over. I mean,
No, but he is down 0-1, and if you're Nefarious, what are you going to do now in this type of game? Are you going to go with the same early gas, early pool style here, or do you think that he thinks Canary won't do something like that again? Because he's not.
I think in Nefarious's shoes, you're feeling pretty confident that you can handle Canary in a more crazy game, so I think he opts for his safest macro style this game.
So I keep bouncing between Canary's command center and that depot that he's left open in the middle of the ramp here. Why isn't he making a barracks?
Because he's going to go CC first, I told you. He can macro.
All right.
Don't judge a bird by his appearance.
But we have a gas and a pool going down here for Nefarious on the other side with the option to be aggressive here.
Yeah, I mean, this was a pool into gas, so it's not massively aggressive like last game where I went gas into pool, so I would think that Nefarious just wants to get out at pretty quick speed and be safe from any Reaper shenanigans like the previous game. Whether that is going to be the case or not, we'll have to see. I mean, the map distance is as long as it can possibly be from Canary's point of view, so he does have the biggest defender's advantage he could get. The rush distance is huge.
Yeah, that's a really good point here. And he's putting the barracks on the low ground, which I love, because it's going to be a much tougher wall for Nefarious to break through here.
Which I think he will be doing, because he's still mining gas and he hasn't pulled out yet. Canary is delaying this natural, but he should be thinking, well, why is the natural not here? And he's actually just going to build an evac.
Yeah, why not? Try to be as annoying as possible. He's going to force the Lings to have a bit of an extra job here before they move out. And this is really frustrating for Nefarious because he was planning on dropping that expansion. He was ready to go, but now he's just got to drone up, make a second queen, and just put his money elsewhere.
Speaking of money, where is this gas going? We've got another 100, and it can't be put into a lair because there's a second queen making, and it also can't be put into burrow because of the second queen. There's no Evo, there's no Bailing Nest. I mean, it could be a
I think we're going to see a
Roach
Roach Farm. Yeah, that's my guess. But it's a little bit late, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, he just pulled out two guys out of gas now at 140. 140 is not really a magic number of gas. He's putting guys back in gas now, so... And he was nearly building an evolution chamber for a moment there with this drone. It's What is this drone going to be doing? It's just going to go to the natural. I think Nefarious is having some mixed plans here. I don't think he knows what he wants to do yet.
See, I thought he was going to go take a third base now.
It looks like he does, but there's 200 gas sat here. I'm not sure what this is going to be for.
Did he get any sort of scouting? No, this is going to be the first amount of scouting he's getting in here to realize that maybe Canary went command center on the low ground. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be able to tell that based on what he's seen here, that it was the CC first, but he's definitely saving up some money here to go into a third base and a lair.
Yeah, so...
And he's not saving up money to go to a third base.
Yeah, Nefarious, I'm definitely getting mixed messages from what he's attempting to do, but from Canary's side of things, we haven't spoken much about him this game. He's just gone straight for the CC first on the low ground. Double racks also on the low ground, forming a wall off. So this is, it's not bust proof. The bunker and the depot are weak spots, but it's pretty safe with the barracks here. I mean, just a few more things behind each building, and Canary's relatively safe from any attempted bust. But we now have Nefarious getting the fast layer. He's gotten double upgrades started before 7 minutes, so this is very fast tech here. But I'm wondering what this layer's for.
I mean, at first I was thinking it could be for a Baneling with Baneling speed, but he still only has one gas here.
Yeah, and you don't need Baneling speed at the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's definitely true.
Maybe you're just buying the layer just to have the layer. I mean, Canary has been known for... Yeah, okay, there we go. Making me look like I'm just gonna steal the idea from Nefarious. Canary has been known for all kinds of aggression, so maybe he just wants the Overseer out to either scout or detect at home, and he's actually got an Overseer at home, and he's got an Overseer on his side of the map as well. So maybe he hasn't necessarily read into the fact that this is DC first. Or maybe he just wants to see what's behind the wall. And it's going to be mech. No, it's not. It's going to be... There's 2 factories and
a bunch
6
of
barracks. So it's going to be a lot of things. It's not mech.
And if this Changeling gets into the main here, it's going to spot some pretty key tech coming out of Canary, and it looks like that is going to happen. Canary's just now noticing it, but he's a little late. The Changeling is going to just walk on in. Reminds me of that Carbot episode where the Changeling is like walking around with a pad, and he's like writing everything down.
Yep, that's exactly what just happened there. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. So double factory into a whole bunch of barracks. I mean, it's going to be one of 2 things. We do have a reactor going down on the first one and a tech lab on the second, so I'm thinking we're going to see Blue Flame Hellions.
I'm thinking the same, to be honest. I mean, we have the armory going down before any engineering bays for Canary, so again, we're going to be having a very large hellback push by the looks of things. I think this is going to be for Blue Flame. Has to be, I think.
Yeah, that was my guess anyway. Either that or he's going to try to get a couple tanks out for support, but it just doesn't really seem like the best option here, given the fact that we already see a whole bunch of Hellions coming out. Now, the tech lab is just sitting there, not doing anything, so I don't know. On the other side, we do have the Spire just about finished up here from Nefarious. I mean, in the end, things are looking kind of standard here, except for no Baneling Nest, which just went down now. Pretty late there, but he didn't really need it early on, so I mean, he took a funny sort of roundabout way to get to this standard position, but he's ended up here, so +2/+2 already on the way as well is pretty darn good for him.
And we have a Thor coming out of Canary's factory. Is this going to be for just an SCV pull at this stage? I mean, that's such a strange way to play versus Zerg in this matchup. But, I mean, there's no third CC. There is a lot of SCVs. There's no 4th gas. There's no engineering bays. Just now we're starting Stim and Blue Flame, so that's going to sync up for a nice attack within the next 2 to 3 minutes. But Mutas are already hatching, and they're going to be out harassing.
Well, Canary's going to have a Thor at home to help defend against it. Thor is pretty slow, though. With no engineering bay, there's literally 0 turrets on the map here. And this is going to be a little bit of a shame here for Canary. There's another Changeling just taking notes here, sitting on top of the ramp. Marine at the bottom of the ramp is, like, looking up at it like...
I mean, he looks legit.
Yeah. He's got a timer bar above his head. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's different type of upgrade. But anyway, mutas are roaming the map with a few Zerglings for help.
Oh no,
This
the
is a
Thor is locked
scary-
in by the changeling.
Oh god.
But he wants to be
man.
locked in because the mutas have just arrived in the top of the main, gunning down the first Marine on guard outside his house, and a poor Marine. I think, yep, Canary's
Oh!
is going. Okay.
This is one of the biggest SCV trains I've ever seen in my life, and I am super happy I'm getting to see it here. This is an incredible army coming out of Canary, moving
my
across
God.
the map, and these mutas are going to take forever to base trade, so that is absolutely not a possibility here. What is Nefarious going to do to defend this? We see a handful of Banelings being morphed in, a whole bunch of Spine Crawlers being started. They may finish in time, actually. Oh,
Canary
man.
has no Baneling speed.
Canary does not have
Canary.
Baneling speed.
Nefarious doesn't have Baneling speed, so I mean...
Here we go.
Oh my
Most of the
goodness.
Banelings going off and not being too effective here. This army is incredible here, as I've already said, from Canary, but there's almost nothing Nefarious can do against this.
This is a huge army coming up from Canary. Spine crawlers that are pretty well timed, but to be honest, they're just going to be gunned down by the amount of Marines, and there's still so many Marines left. They do have stim and combat shields, so they can split as appropriately against Banelings, but there's still no Baneling speed in the production tab, and to be honest, Nefarious can't afford the gas on it. He needs to make Banelings right now.
Yeah, there's another handful of Banelings being made here, and they do have the ability to tilt this fight in Nefarious' favor, but they have to be used perfectly. There's still a handful of SCVs here available to take that Baneling shot, and here we go. Banelings going off on mostly SCVs here. There's still a lot of Marines left. The Thor is being surrounded by drones here. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen before, but they're actually not going to get the kill, and there's still so many Marines here.
Yeah, Canary does have to be very careful with his stim, though. He has no medevacs, no way of healing, so if he takes any hit from these Banelings, these Marines are toast. He has to be very careful with his splits here. Arguably more careful than that.
Yeah, this actually did not go too well for Canary, and surprisingly enough, Nefarious has held this off. And there's 2 SCVs left for Canary,
Yeah.
and there's 4 Marines moving across the map to try to win the game.
Nefarious did get the scout on this base trade command center here. He was expecting to maybe do a base trade, but yeah, Canary is toast in the game. He has 29 SCV, well, supply. He has 1 SCV. The rest are all in Marines and maybe a few Hellions. The main command center is burning down, being repaired by mules. Yeah, Canary, I think he probably overstimmed towards that fight. I think he maybe should only be stimming with this build whenever Banelings are actually committing to a fight.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility for sure. I mean, he didn't have the longevity to stay this long and try to continually do damage with Stim Marines here. There come the Marines, going to go ahead and chew everything up. GG coming out of Canary, and Nefarious, looking amazing, is going to be the first player of this group to move on to the round of 16. Congratulations, man. You are a very good Zerg player who I think is going to do extremely well. We have so many good players making it into the round of 16 that, like, as pumped as I was for a round of 32, it's like the round of 16 is just going to be almost as if double.